This $10 million bridge collapsed after only a week, and it was due to major miscalculations and the engineers also just acting like children during construction, and it ended up causing 6 fatalities. So this was supposed to be a pedestrian bridge for the Florida International University, and it was actually constructed and collapsed back in 2018. The engineers tasked with designing this bridge was a group called FIG Engineering, and this bridge was actually very complicated. It's a truss concrete bridge. As an engineer, that should already raise red flags to you since concrete is extremely weak in tension, but for the truss to work and transfer forces properly, some of the members are going to have to be in tension. Another thing that jumped out to me right away is there's only one truss going through the center of the bridge. And that's because most truss bridges utilize 2 trusses on both sides of the bridge so that there's a little bit of redundancy. Not having redundancy means that if one member fails, the bridge will collapse like a domino effect starting from where that member failed because there's nothing else there to hold it up. Designing without redundancy is never recommended, but when it is done, the engineers are actually required to use extra factors of safety to make sure that the bridge is designed for well over capacity. And those factors of safety were actually ignored by the FIG engineers. Now, as I said before, their miscalculations weren't actually the only reason for the failure of this bridge. In the last few images, I've had the point of failure highlighted, which was this 11 to 12 nodal region in the bridge, and it was actually showing major cracks and major signs that it was going to fail before it actually did. Here we can see some of the cracks in diagonal member 11, and the FIG engineers actually ruled these cracks as non-structural and to just continue on with construction. I think anyone would have been scared just looking at these cracks, and actually in Florida we're supposed to rule cracks as structural if they're over ½ an inch wide. After being pressed on these cracks a little bit more, the FIG engineers advised to retension the reinforcement and continue on with construction. And when the construction workers went to go retension that reinforcement as the FIG engineers advised is when the bridge actually collapsed. Now the engineers making those design mistakes isn't really the big issue with this collapse because every engineer is going to make a mistake at one point or another, but a good engineer would own up to those mistakes and would have immediately halted traffic and stopped further construction to get this thing fixed. But as I'm making this video, they've actually redesigned a new pedestrian bridge that you see here, and it's going to be constructed very soon.